Come, Sunil, please come.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Sunil. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Sunil, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
So, please give your introduction, Sunil.
So, my name is Sunil. I belong to Dadri district in Haryana. I completed most of my schooling from RAD Senior Secondary School, and then I pursued my Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science and Engineering. In my spare time, sir, I like to follow Indian defense technology and jogging and listening to Haryani folk music Ragini.
So, Sunil, you're from Haryana.
Yes.
Haryana, what is so special that Haryana is was and is further becoming a automobile hub of India? So, tell us what is the historical reason and what is the special advantage that the investors have to build automobile sector here?
Sir, the first boost was given by Gurgaon because of its proximity to Delhi NCR region and Delhi being over-congested and the development of infrastructure by DLF. After that, sir, government policies also supported the production of automobile and economies of scale also promoted this thing.
Are we having some more in the electrical vehicle side? Is Haryana getting some more investments in electric vehicles?
Sorry, sir, I am not
You
aware
have
about
not
any particular electric.
much idea about it. Doesn't matter. So you are a computer science engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, digital literacy,
Yes.
right? We all talk about digital literacy and the standard methods of, but my point basically is, in order to have digital literacy, you need to provide internet services to the poor.
Yes.
Right? How do we do it? Internet services to the poor.
Yes. Sir, government might take various steps and it has been taking, like BharatNet program is there to provide connectivity to the rural areas. Secondly, sir, common service centers are also being established in the rural areas so that digital services might be provided. And government is also focusing on bringing digital literacy in the curriculum so that the children at the earlier age itself are trained in the digital arena.
But Sunil, tell me, you are absolutely right. But how many of us in urban areas now we go to these cyber cafes to send a mail? We all want to do it at home.
Yes, sir.
I'm sitting and using smartphones.
Yes,
How do we bring internet to the homes of the poor? Should we have some kind of subsidy? Should the government give free internet? Should we have Wi-Fi in certain places? Should we subsidize? What are your thoughts about it?
Sir, a mixture of many steps needs to be taken. First of all, we should reduce the spectrum user charges for the telecom companies so that they can provide affordable internet services. Secondly, sir, we can also provide Wi-Fi hotspots like under PM1 scheme we have been doing this. And thirdly, sir, we also need to enhance smartphone manufacturing capacity in our country so that the mobile smartphones are available at lower prices and the poor people can afford it.
Good. Sunil, I saw your DAP. You're following Indian defense technology.
Yes, sir.
So I want to know how is drone technology
Yes, sir.
and space technology
Yes.
we can apply in stronger defense of our country.
Sir, drone and space technology can be used for both offensive and defensive purposes. First, coming to the defensive purposes, we can use the space technology for intelligence gathering and secure communication purposes like quantum computing, quantum communications ISRO is trying to establish. Secondly, sir, drones can also be used for surveillance, and in bad weather also we can use the drones, sir. And flying at higher altitudes, they are not so much detectable by the enemy radars. Secondly, sir, offensively we can use loitering munition drones, swarm drones to decapacitate the enemy air defense systems. We can also use HAL, high altitude long endurance drones to carry out attacks in a stealth manner. So we can also use defense for offensive purposes by deploying ballistic missile defense systems in the space, and for using space to earth weapons like anti-satellite missiles for destroying the enemy space capabilities.
Good. Tell me, should India also get into balloon war?
Sir,
We also cited one such balloon in near Andaman and Nicobar, and government is contemplating on. So should we also devise certain things by which we can spy some countries which we desire to?
Yes, sir. Spying through balloons is cheaper, first of all, and quieter also compared to drones. And it is also not much contested. If we use a balloon, then the enemies are not so much against us. If we in a place, if we are using the drones or spy planes. So I think India has been working on this, and we bought aerostats, sir. But those were the attached lithium gas balloons. And
Sunil, do you believe that there are some unidentified flying objects, UFOs, actually coming from extraterrestrial area, or you think these could be some of these spy planes, of a different kind, launched by the big countries, and which they call it as UFO?
So it could be a mixture of both. There might be some unidentified flying objects from the extraterrestrial space also, because there have been evidences of signals from the extraterrestrial space, but it is not evidenced. And these might be the spy planes of these powerful countries also, sir.
Right. Thank you, Sunil. I pass on to our member.
Sunil,
Yes.
the incidence of stubble burning has come down
Yes.
by almost 30-35% this year in
Yes.
2022.
Yes.
22. So, what could be the reason for that?
Sir, first reason is the government support which government has been providing. Like in the recent Haryana budget, government has provided 1,000 per ton for the stubble. Secondly, sir, people have started using the stubble for the feed for animal husbandry, and there is demand in Rajasthan also. So people are sending their this stubble to Rajasthan also and selling and getting remuneration from that. Thirdly, sir, stubble is also being used for the biogas plants and the producing manure also. So these are the reasons, sir.
In this Khap Panchayats, Sunil,
Yes.
they have transformed. Earlier, they used to be known for their good, decisions and good behavior, but now they have mellowed down and they are rather supporting the women empowerment and all those things. So, how this change in the last 1 decade has taken place in the attitude of Khap Panchayats?
Sir, the change is from both top and bottom. From tops, like Supreme Court has denounced the decisions taken by Khap Panchayat and put legal pressure on them to change their attitude toward the society. From bottom, sir, there are leaders in the Khap Panchayats who are adopting more liberal, tolerant and social reformative approach. And there is more education and awareness about the rights among women also in Haryana and among other male members also. So it is a mixture of both of these things.
Now, when we have a very robust system of Panchayati Raj institution, in Haryana also it is very robust. There are regular elections are there. So why still do we have the Khap Panchayats? Why Khap Panchayats can not be subsumed in Panchayati Raj institutions? Why they want to maintain why they are still maintaining a separate entity?
Sir, Khap Panchayats are social organizations, while local bodies are political organizations being elected by the people. Secondly, sir, Khap Panchayats hold their sway over a large area compared to the local Panchayats, because local Panchayat limited to one village, and Khap Panchayats are over, like biggest Khap is for 84 villages. So these are the reasons.
Good. Now, Sunil, one of the, I think, good things which has happened to our defense sector is the indigenization.
Yes, sir.
Now we have a long list of products which will be procured domestically.
Yes.
So can you name 5 products which are now procured domestically and we are not importing anymore from the list?
Yes, sir.
Defense products or equipment.
Yes. Sir, first is artillery. systems. We recently placed the order for attacks, advanced towed artillery gun system.
Yes.
Second, sir, missile defense system.
Missile
defense system.
Okay.
Like we placed order for MRSM, medium range surface to air missiles, and its first regiment was there in the Arunachal Pradesh. Secondly, sir, for the lighter combat helicopters, we have it in the negative list. Percent helicopter we are procuring indigenously, sir. Frigates and these destroyers also, sir, we are producing indigenously and procuring them under Make in India scheme.
Now, Sunil, this Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In Nicobar Islands, we are going to have a multi-modal transport some hub.
Yes.
Despite so much of objection by the environmentalists, because a lot of forest area will be cleared, and tribes their lifestyle will be impacted adversely. But still, we are going ahead. I think we are Government of India decided. So why it is so important?
Sir, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are strategically located into the Indian Ocean, and they are important for our strategic and economic reasons because they also help us to project power into the Indian Ocean, which has been an arena of India only, and they also help us boosting our economy by providing a multimodal transit hub. We can challenge Singapore, which is a hub for the whole Asian trade. So in that sector, because of these reasons, sir, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are important, and we can develop them in a sustainable manner by taking into account the tribal rights and by doing the minimum damage to the environment.
Now, Sunil, the last 1 week has witnessed hyper diplomacy in Delhi.
Yes.
Hyper diplomacy.
Yes. So because of the G20 foreigners meet happening, and after that we had a Quad meeting also, and the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war is also impacting the ongoing.
Anything on Raisina dialogue?
Yes, sir. Raisina dialogue by the Observer Research Foundation is also going on, sir. And Italian Prime Minister Giorgina is the main chief guest.
So before that, who was the VIP? Before Italian Prime Minister, we had another very important person as President of Chancellor of some country.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about it.
Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Sunil, you are a student of history.
Yes.
Good. Now tell me, when the chariots, they, you understand chariots?
Yes.
They ceased to be part of war in Indian history.
Sir, till Gupta time we have the mention of chariots in various Puranas and historical writings. After that they ceased to be part of when cavalry was mainly used.
Okay. You follow Indian defense technology.
Yes.
So during medieval times to defend their kingdoms,
Yes.
the kings used to import what type of defense things? Kings, did they import something during medieval times? The Maharajas and Rajas?
Sir, we used to import horses from the Central Asian region and West Asia because they have better quality of breeds over there. Secondly, sir, we are also importing swords because fine quality steel they were producing, and we were importing swords. These two items I can.
Okay. So during medieval times, which empire had more cavalry than elephants?
Sir, in India or
in India, I am talking about India. Okay, let me ask you this way: the Pal dynasty. You understand? You know Pal dynasty?
Yes.
Did they have more elephants or more cavalry?
Sir, I am not aware about that.
You are not. You know about Pratihar dynasty?
Yes, sir.
Did they have more cavalry or more elephants?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about the exact
number. I'm just comparative analysis I am talking about.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
Okay. Tell me something about Raja Bhoj.
Sir, Raja Bhoj was from Gurjar Pratihar dynasty who ruled Dhar in MP, and he is well known for his writings also in the field of Ayurveda.
Okay. So, what was the northern limit of his kingdom? Northern limit, northern India's limit.
So it is contested by different historians. Some say he ruled from Kashmir to Vindhyas, but some say there were some independent kingdoms. Like in Kashmir, there was an independent kingdom. In northwestern region also, there were some independent rulers working on. So these are.
So, what is your which theory you support? Did he rule up to Kashmir?
Sir, he might have influence till Kashmir, but he was not directly ruling those areas.
He was not directly ruling.
Yes, sir.
Do you know something about Lalitaditya, Raja Lalitaditya?
Yes, sir.
वो कहाँ के ruler थे?
Sir, Raja Lalitaditya Muktapida was a ruler of Kashmir.
Kashmir only.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me something about Pratihara and Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakoot.
Yes, sir.
Where they were located?
Sir, Pratiharas were located in modern day Rajasthan and Gujarat area. They were main dominance, and they tried to expand towards the eastern and the southern states. But sir, in the southern part, if we see in the modern Karnataka and Maharashtra region, Rashtrakutas established themselves by overthrowing the Chalukyas, and they established their supremacy over there. So Karnataka and Maharashtra were their main area of dominance.
So between these two, who were more powerful, Rashtrakuta or Pratihara?
Sir, during the tripartite struggle, Rashtrakutas emerged as more powerful by defeating Pratiharas continuously.
And tell me, during this period, the Arabs also, they tried to come to India.
Yes.
So up to what limit they came?
Sir,
Arabs.
Yes, sir. The Arabs were limited to the Sindh region only. The first expedition was led by Muhammad bin Qasim, and they limited to the Sindh region only.
And they were badly defeated there sometimes?
Sir, I am not aware about the
Chalukyas?
I am not aware about.
You are not aware of that. So why they could not come towards east beyond Sindh? Who checked them?
Sir, Pratihara dynasty declined when Arabs were there. So Chalukyas of Gujarat were the main contenders, and Bhima, one of Solanki dynasty defeated them.
Yes. Okay, tell me something about Shailendra dynasty. Where it is found? Shailendra dynasty?
Sir, if I am not wrong, then Shailendra dynasty is found in Kamboj Desha, modern day Cambodia.
But that is Kamboj dynasty. Kamboja dynasty is different. Shailendra dynasty I am talking. That is in Indonesia.
Indonesia, yes, sir.
That is in Indonesia.
Indonesia.
And Malaya.
Indonesia and Malaya.
Malaya. That is Shailendra. Tell me something about Angkor Wat.
Sir, Angkor Wat temple complex is the largest Hindu temple complex in the world also, and in the Southeast Asian country of Cambodia.
Mm-hmm. And which dynasty is associated with Angkor Wat?
Sorry, sir, I am not able to recall right.
Okay. Lastly, tell me something about this medieval India's period. If we say that these kingdoms which we just discussed, they were secular in nature. Can we say that? They were secular in nature.
Yes, sir, we can call that they were secular in nature, because we found the evidences of both Hindu and Buddhist influence over there, and they patronized both of them, and there was no any evidence of persecution under them of any different religion. They were the main adherents of Hindu religion. But
did the wise men of their courts tell their kings that you rule the praja or the people through a different book and your personal thing through a different book? Do you know something about Arthashastra and Dharma Shastra and Arthashastra? there are two type of philosophies during that time.
Sir, I'm aware about these philosophies that Dharma Shastra was dealing mainly to the religious sphere, and Arth Shastra was dealing with the political sphere. So they were separating the political and the religious sphere at that time.
So that's why they can be called
Seculars.
secular sort of.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sunil.
Sunil, what do you mean by blue economy and what are the challenges pertaining to it?
Sir, blue economy is the use of ocean resources in a sustainable manner for the economic and environmental development. And the challenges arising are first, we do not possess the technology for the sustainable use of the blue economy. Secondly, sir, it might hamper the unresearched and unknown fields of the ocean ecology. It also might disrupt the food chain of the ocean ecology, and ocean pollution might also happen, sir.
Tell me about gig economy and importance of gig economy.
Sir, gig economy is mainly based on the freelancing services, where there is contractual jobs being provided to the workers, and there is no permanent job. It is gaining importance in the lieu of recent labor reforms India is doing, and the policy being promoted by various MNCs so that they can be flexible in hiring labor and cutting cost of production, so that the products can be provided at very cheap level to the customers.
Vodafone issue, are you aware? The government of India took stake in Vodafone. Are you aware about it or not?
Sir, I am aware that Vodafone was under a major debt, but I am not aware that government has taken a stake.
Okay, you are not. Okay, no issues. Tell me about your opinion on old pension scheme. Many states are again opting for old pension scheme. Why is it so, and what's your take on that?
Sir, many states are reverting back to the old pension scheme due to the protest being done by the government employees and others, because in new pension scheme there is no fixed amount that will be provided to the employees. But in my personal opinion is asked, then I support the new pension scheme with fewer modifications.
Okay. So I see you are involved in wrestling, kabaddi, gymnastics. So why many people from Haryana we see are coming in these sports and very less from other states?
Sir, there are 2 or 3 reasons which I can identify. First is of cultural reason, because people from Haryana and Punjab are mainly involved in the agriculture, which provide them the physical strength. Their food and dietary habits are also like that. We eat surma, sir, so it provides us physical strength. And secondly, sir, government support is also there. Government is providing infrastructure for the games. Government is also providing job security to the players who are coming ahead. Sir, thirdly, societal sport is also there. Parents are supporting their children going for the games, and it also provides the social recognition to them.
So Sunil, tell me, why do you wish to join civil services?
Sir, while I was in my college, then India was going through social, economic and political, geopolitical upheavals and transformatory stage. So I decided to be part of that process, and also it provides us the diverse opportunities to work for the betterment of society and for the betterment of ourselves also, because it helps in self-development. Sir.
Okay, thank you, Sunil. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sunil, do you think India should mediate to stop Russia-Ukraine conflict?
Yes, sir. India should do everything in its capability to stop the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis right now. And if we can mediate and bring the war to a halt, then of course we should.
So, what advantage would India get in case we are able to mediate and do something effectively? And what are the disadvantages in putting our hands into this issue?
Sir, the first advantage, if we are successful in bringing the crisis to a peaceful situation, then the geopolitical recognition, the worldwide recognition we will have, because many so-called superpowers are not able to do this. And secondly, sir, there are fears of sanctions on us due to trading with Russia in oil, and our economic relations with Western countries are also hampering. So they will also come to an end, and we will have better relations with both the Russia and the Western world. And so disadvantages are if we fail to achieve the so-called peaceful resolution, then we might our relations with the Russia might also get, because they will say we are supporting the Western countries in pursuing their agenda, and the Western countries might allege that we are playing into the Russian hands, like which happened during the North Korean.
Okay,
South
so
Korea.
having discussed both sides,
Yes, sir.
what is the higher probability of being successful or not successful, looking at the current stands taken by Russia and Ukraine?
Sir, if you look at the current stands being taken by the Russia and Ukraine, the probability is very low, because there is no clear-cut demands by any country that if these demands are met, then we will end the crisis.
Thank you, Sunil. The last question could be, if you think that something has not been covered or something has been left out from your DAF.
No, sir, I think I have been thoroughly and comprehensively questioned.
So thank you, Sunil. We close our interview.
Thank you.
We'll call you again after a few minutes. Meanwhile, you can be in the waiting room.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Please sit down. Sunil, you are so handsomely tall that, I feel very complex when I see you standing. So I immediately said, sit down.
Thank you.
Huh? Imposing personality. Even both body and mind, Sunil, you have done very well.
Thank you.
What is your perception about today's performance?
Only you can tell.
Okay.
You are
So I've already
experienced.
told. So your performance was very good, flawless. Right? We really don't have anything to add, or there's always a scope for improvement. You would
Yes.
also, you have your own standards and you compare those standards with the actual performance. But from our angle, from the perception of the board, you were confident, you were comfortable, you were effective in your speech, you were communicating very well, your content was very good, the quality was good, variety of knowledge was good, and even in optional history, you did extremely well. The last question which I asked showed the clarity of your mind. Probably it seemed that initially you said that we should mediate. But gradually, as you proceeded and analyzed the advantages and then disadvantages, probably you decided that no, it will not be a good idea to mediate. Is that right?
Yes.
So, Sunil, very good. I have nothing to add from my side for the time being.
Well, Sunil, same here. Nothing more to add. बस जस्ट आपको जो अनबटनिंग था ना कोट का,
Yes, sir.
वो दोनों टाइम पे भी, शुरू में भी, अभी दोबारा भी आप आए
It is a little bit tight, sir.
हाँ, तो इसको थोड़ा देख लीजिए, क्योंकि एक बार ऐसा हुआ है कि मेंबर ने बोला है अनबटनिंग के टाइम पे थोड़ा टाइम लगा उनको, तो मेंबर ने बोला भी इसको, मतलब ही टुक नोट ऑफ दैट कि यू आर सो बी आइदर, आपको बिल्कुल आपको कॉन्फिडेंट है कि आप इसको एकदम सीमलेसली इसको खोल लेंगे तब तो ठीक है, अदरवाइज बेटर ऑप्शन कुड बी कि आप इसको खोल के ही अंदर आए, ठीक है ना। वहां पर अगर आप उसे जोसलिंग कर रहे हैं ना, उधर देख रहे हैं और कर रहे हैं, वो थोड़ा ठीक नहीं लगेगा। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट।
Sunil, you are an excellent candidate. You have good grasp over your optional subject. That's very good. I am impressed about it, because this medieval history, 9th, 10th century is quite tricky. There's a lot of fighting, this Raja, that Raja, so many things. So it's a quite jumbled, gets jumbled up inside your brain. But you are so neat and clear actually over there. Everything is very good. Okay? I'm happy with your performance. All the best.
So Sunil, I share the same opinion. Personality, communication, content, तीनों में आप बहुत अच्छे थे. एक छोटी सी चीज है, स्कूल का नाम मत मेंशन करो इंट्रोडक्शन में. नेम ऑफ द स्कूल आपने बोल दिया था, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, बस लेकिन अवॉइड कर सकते हो.
स्कूलिंग छोड़ ही दो.
हाँ सीधा ग्रेजुएशन
ग्रेजुएशन
हाँ। दूसरा एक वाई सिविल सर्विस जो पहली लाइन थी ना, मैं कुछ आपने बोला था
कॉलेज
याद
में
नहीं
मैंने
आ रहा।
देखा।
तो वो अवॉइड कर देना कि मैंने कुछ देखा अपने कॉलेज में, ऐसे कुछ आपने कहा था, तो सीधा वर्च्यूज ऑफ सिविल सर्विस पे आ।
सेकंड पार्ट आपका बिल्कुल ठीक था, बस उसी पे रखिए आप।
Yes, sir. Today only I decided to add this thing and to have your feedback. Why is it sound right or not?
What you can do,
Should I?
what you can do, Sunil, you first put the second part first, and then in addition, because that could not be the only factor, was it? What was the thing that you mentioned? That you saw something in college? What did you see?
Sir, India was going through a social, economic, and geopolitical transformation.
India, you're talking very big.
फंस जाओ।
ऊंची बातें कर रहे हो आप।
That's why only, sir.
नहीं,
To have your opinion on that.
सेकंड पार्ट पे शुरू कीजिए
मतलब
ना,
आप
बताइए।
ऐसा है कि जैसे आपको कोई पीछे पड़ रहा हो कि आओ भाई जरा इंडिया को संभालो,
ठीक है।
तो मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है, इंडिया का बुरा हाल है, मैं
बिल्कुल
आ
मत
जाता
करो।
हूं।
I'll stick to the second part, sir.
आपका सेकंड पार्ट वाज वेरी गुड। सेकंड पार्ट से शुरू किए ना, आपने शुरू किया डाइवर्सिफाइड जॉब की बजाय ना डाइवर्सिफाइड करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज कर, जॉब का बड़ी
और आप रिफॉर्म हिंट दे रहे हो, रिफॉर्म्स के ऊपर, जियो पॉलिटिक्स के ऊपर हिंट दे रहे हो कि मुझसे पूछो उसी स्टेटमेंट की वजह से, तो क्या पता क्या पूछ लें, फिर अवॉइड कर लो इससे अच्छा।
I will avoid it.
ठीक है, इनके अलावा यू आर वेरी गुड, कीप इट अप, पर्सनालिटी बहुत अच्छी है, तो आई एम श्योर यू विल डू वेल, सो ऑल द बेस्ट। आई पास ऑन टू चेयरमैन।
You can always add as the second part. And sir, I thought that I would be contributing to the development of development of my state and my country, because I will have more opportunities, to spread my good, to make an impact of my good work on a larger number of people. That looks better.
Yes, sir. I will go with this.
रिकंस्ट्रक्ट कर लो, लिख लेना। ये चीज ऐसी है जो आप से अगर पूछते हो तो एक ही आंसर होना है, कैसे भी पूछ लो।
No, sir. Intentionally I wanted to have your feedback on this.
हाँ,
So I said
नहीं
this
वो
thing.
कॉलेज वाला वो ठीक नहीं है। देश का सीधे एकदम देश की बात करना वो कानों में अजीब सी लगेगी। वो उस पर कोई पढ़ के कोई क्वेश्चन जरूर पूछेगा कि भाई देश की इतनी चिंता थी, व्हाई डिड यू नॉट जॉइन पॉलिटिक्स? फिर एम्बेरस हो जाओगे आप, है ना। सिंपल रहो, चाहे वो कहें भी कि भाई अरे कोई नया कारण बताओ। अब नया कारण क्या बताएं हमें? हम क्या करना चाहेंगे वहाँ पे? जो हम अपना करियर, यू आर यंग मैन, यू विल डिजाइन योर करियर फर्स्ट, एंड करियर के साथ साथ यू आर सीइंग दैट गुड करियर एंड गुड सर्विस टू द नेशन। इन दोनों का इससे अच्छा कॉम्बिनेशन कोई नहीं हो सकता, राइट? पब्लिक सर्विस है जो कोई और दूसरी सर्विस नहीं देता, which is unique about it. Use these words which are maybe a little different but yet convey the same thing. ठीक है ना? तो otherwise Sunil, you are excellent. We have given you 71%. Right?
196, 195.
So I am now amazed why you had to reach the 4th attempt.
Sir, because of optional.
So how much did you miss the civil services by? How many marks?
Sir, last time I got around 724 and the cutoff was 745 and I got 200 only in the optional, sir.
And you reached the interview stage also?
No, sir.
You
I
did not.
cleared.
This will be your first interview.
Yes, sir.
But you will do very well.
So अब तुमने निकल लिया ना, वो तो worst is over, है ना? You must have scored well, तभी आप मेंस में आए हो।
Yes, sir.
Interview का-
Last time only in one optional paper one I got 145, but in the second paper I got
No,
66
forget about the past. This time you have reached the interview stage, so you must have got good marks in mains. तो बाकी जो है वो खींच ले उसमें आप, ठीक
जो
है
मैं
ना?
अच्छा खींच सकता हूँ, आप बता रहा हूँ आपको 200 आराम से आ सकता
आप खींच रहे हो, मतलब as it is, जैसे आज की परफॉर्मेंस है, even if you perform like this, you are bound to get more than 70%. ठीक है ना? Keep in touch with the current affairs. That is the only thing which will change. All right. Any questions you have from us? Okay. All the
है। All
best.
the best.
You are
All the
very
best.
bright.
Thank you.